Hi everybody, Marco Carvalho here from businesscreditblogger.com. Today's video we're going to talk about business credit cards versus corporate credit cards. We're going to talk about which ones require a personal guarantee and which ones don't. So by the end of this video you're going to understand business credit cards and corporate credit cards and what you need to understand about personal guarantees. So let's get started. Now, let's first talk about the similarities between business credit cards and corporate credit cards. First of all, they're both revolving sources of funds. You can use them anywhere the payment networks like Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express are accepted. You get access to a preset credit limit. You can borrow against your card. When you pay down the principal, the credit becomes available to you again to use over and over again. And you can maintain a balance. You can have a revolving balance with business credit cards and corporate credit cards. And you can pay a minimum monthly payment. You don't have to pay the balance in full. Whereas like charge cards do require you to pay your balance in full. So that's the difference between business credit cards and corporate credit cards as far as the similarities between the two. On the bottom of this presentation, you'll see the link to our website where we offer our business credit card funding program, our business credit building system. So be sure to check us out at businesscreditbuilders.org. Okay, so let's first talk about the PG. It's also known as personal guarantee or being a personal guarantor. They're all the same thing. So what is it and what it's not? So I want to clear the air on personal guarantees. First of all, in a nutshell, when it comes to business credit cards, a personal guarantee is a written promise from a business owner. You're basically co-signing on behalf of the business. So if your business fails to pay, then you are responsible to make good on that payment to the bank or creditor or lender. So when you supply a personal guarantee, let's first talk about what it's not. The misunderstanding that many business owners think is when they supply a personal guarantee is that it's also going to impact their personal credit. So that's not the case. The personal guarantee is first just the co-signing, but as far as credit reporting goes, many of the business credit cards in the marketplace do report to your personal credit when you're the guarantor. But for example, with our business credit card funding program, where we obtain you 4 to 5 business credit cards for your business, you are the guarantor, but as far as credit reporting goes, none of the activity, the debt that you carry on those cards report to your personal credit. They only report to the business credit reporting agency. So remember, personal guarantees have nothing to do with credit reporting. They're two totally separate, different functions. Each bank card issuer has a different application towards credit reporting. But like I said, the majority of business credit cards do report to personal. Ours don't. So if you're interested in the business credit cards that report to business only, be sure to check us out, businesscreditbuilders.org/business-lines-of-credit. So let's talk about business credit cards first. 99% of the business credit cards in the marketplace require a personal guarantee, but there are exceptions, which I'm going to talk about in a second. 100% of the corporate credit cards do not require a personal guarantee. They're 100% issued to the business, 100% the business is liable, the corporation. And I'm going to talk about the difference between the two. That's what's really important here. But what's the 1% exception of business credit cards? Well, you have to have what I have called the 3 main factors, which is the business credit reports of the business have to be very well established, the age of the business plays a role, and the revenues of the business. Now, one thing that's so important for you to understand when it comes to a personal guarantee, obviously you want to put yourself in the bank's position. It's all about risk for the bank. The reason why they have, the majority of them when it comes to business credit cards, require you to supply a personal guarantee is because of risk. They want to make sure that they're going to recoup their money if the business fails. So if you're a startup, you're always going to supply a personal guarantee because you're a startup business. You have the most risk. If you're an existing business, but you're a small business, what's a small business? In the majority of bank card issuers, if you're doing less than $1 million a year, you're a small business. So they're all going to require a personal guarantee. But the exceptions are this. When you build up and you focus on building the strength of your business credit reports where you can showcase to a bank or a lender that you have a great financial report card as a business. You've responsibly paid. You have lots of credit issued to your business. You pay on time. You are 2 years or older in business, so you kind of overcome that threshold of being a startup, and you have healthy revenues as a business. Because it's one thing to have a strong business credit report, which you can establish fairly quickly with our business credit building system. But if you're a brand new startup, you don't have a lot of revenues to support your line. So how could you dictate that you want no PG when you're a startup? Or if you're less than 2 years in business, you're still a very high-risk business. So the age of your business and the revenue business also play a role. Now, in getting no personal guarantee for some business credit cards, the easiest ones and the very small ones are co-branded fleet and fuel cards. I'm going to explain that in a little bit of detail in a second. But to qualify for those particular types of cards, they're co-branded with the Visa MasterCard logo, and you got to follow the 10-10 rule. So what is this 10-10 rule when it comes to business credit reports? When it comes to qualifying for that small amount of no PG cards that are available. The 10-10-10 rule is basically you have to have 10, a minimum, this is the minimum, 10 references reporting on your business credit reports for the business. 10 references, 10 trade lines. Obviously, 15 or more is ideal. 10 is the bare minimum. Okay, so that's 10. The second 10 is 10,000. You want at least two $10,000 credit limits reporting on your business credit reports. Minimum 10,000. The more, the better. So this can be a vendor that's extended a $10,000 line to you. This could be a business credit card that you got from our program that gave you a $10,000 credit limit where you did PG it. So that's you want to have two $10,000 accounts reporting. The third 10 is at least 10 months of payment history. You got to have 10 months of payment history. So when people are saying build up your report and you can get your no PG in 30 days, 40 days, it's just not going to happen, or even a couple months, not going to happen. You have to have established payment history. Now let's talk about corporate credit cards. You'll see here that corporate credit cards do not require a personal guarantee at all. Okay, so you'll see on the bottom here, businesscreditbuilders.org/business-credit. That'll give you a link to our business credit building system. So if you're looking to build up your business credit reports so you can eventually qualify for some no PG cards that we have listed in our system, definitely check us out there. But remember, 99% of the cards in the marketplace, you're going to have to supply a PG. When you do build these up, your reports, your age, your revenues, then there are very few that you can get the no PG from. Okay, so let's talk about what I talked about as a co-branded fleet card where you can get no PG. And this is just an example. And I want you to understand here is first you have to follow the 10-10 rule before you even think about applying for this particular no PG card like a fleet card or fuel card. But you'll see here that when we're talking about co-branded cards, you'll see the co-branded partner is Comdata. They provide a fleet where you can fuel your trucks, your fleet car, your cars, etc. But when it's co-branded, you'll see that the payment network is a MasterCard, which allows you, that's the payment network that allows you to use this card not just at gas stations or fuel stations. You can use this anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So this is technically a credit card that for your business, but it specializes in that you get special discounts for fuel, etc. Now the card issuer here, and it's labeled on the back of this particular card, is Regions Bank. So it's important to understand that when it comes to credit cards, there's payment networks. There's Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. And the only payment networks that are also banks are Discover and American Express. Okay, so you can have an American Express payment network card that's issued by American Express. Okay, also you can have a credit card that has the American Express logo on it, which is the payment network, but it's not issued by American Express. It's issued by another card issuer, like another bank. That's where a bank has selected American Express as their payment network. Okay, and then the card issuer, so that's where you look at if you want to look at your credit card. For example, you may have a credit card with the store logo on it. You look on the back, it'll tell you who issued the card, what bank. So there's card issuers, there's your branded partners if it's a co-branded card, and then there's your payment networks. Okay, so I just want to clear that up for you. But this is an example of a specific no PG card which is a fleet card when you have a very well-established business credit report, age of business, and revenues. Now, let's talk about business credit cards qualifications. How do you get some business credit cards that help you build up your business credit reports that only report to your personal credit? First, you have to have 680 FICO scores, and we're going to get into corporate credit cards here in a minute. Stated income. This is really popular with business credit cards because you don't have to provide financials as a company, no tax returns, no P&L statements. It's stated, so you're basically stating how much revenues the business is doing on the application, but it's not verified. This is very popular if you're a startup business, if you're a small business and you don't, let's say you didn't file your returns yet, you filed an extension, or you just don't want to provide documentation. This is a great option for you to get access to cash credit for your business. There is a personal guarantor you need to supply. Reports only to business credit reports though. So this protects your personal credit when it comes to credit reporting. So you may have several business credit cards issued. We technically issue 4 to 5 under our program, and they only report to the business credit report. So this allows you to have access to large amounts of credit for your business without affecting your personal credit reports. And this is great for startups and existing businesses. So who's a business credit card best for? It's best for startups or existing small businesses, and if you're looking to separate your business and personal expenses. If you're using personal credit cards right now for your business, the number one thing you need to do is get some business credit cards. Second, most importantly, is to get business credit cards that only report to the business credit reporting agencies, because that it will totally defeats the purpose of creating that separation between your personal and business credit if your business credit cards report to your personal credit. So small business owners who want to protect their personal credit and small business owners who want to build their business credit, those are who business credit cards are ideal for. And if you're looking for a fast track to getting eventually no PG cards, the most important thing to realize is building a business credit report and being aware of the importance of building a strong business financial report card, which is your credit report for your business. The residual benefit is that you're going to be able to qualify for some no PG business credit cards because at that point is you built a successful business. You have revenues coming in your business. You have a strong business credit report. And that's the name of the game, is having a business credit identity that stands on its own. So you can present your business to a bank as, here's my report card for my business. Here's our revenues that we're doing. There's growth. There's solid payment history. So it warrants you from justifying you to allow to have no PG. Okay, so that's who business credit cards are for. Now, you have to have a 680 credit score minimum. You want to, obviously, the higher the better. Your utilization on personal credit cards where you're the primary account holder on, you want to make sure they're under 50%. If you're like 60, 70%, that's okay. Let us do the review for you free. That way we can tell you what pay downs you need to do if you need to have some pay downs to qualify for business credit card funding. Like I said, this is stated income. Utilization just talked about. You get 4 to 5 cards. 0% intra-APR on purchases for 6 to 15 months. And as far as credit limits, you can expect is 25 to up to 150,000 in combined credit limits with business credit card funding. So the first thing you need to do if you want to see how much can you get in business credit card funding for your business based on your credit worthiness. First, order your personal credit report. That's number one. That way, you don't want to go out there and shop around and get inquiries on your credit because that can hurt your chances. Okay, so first order your credit report. Go to businessfundingengine.procredit.com. It costs you $1. It allows you to order your tri-merge report, which is all 3 reports in one report, and it shows all 3 of your scores. Once you do that, you log in, and then you select View Report and select the PDF download option and download it in PDF format. Once you do that, you're going to go to businessfundingreview.com. That's a secure site of ours. You upload your report, put in your information in there. You'll get an email confirmation from us that it's under review. Our underwriters will look at the file and come up with a funding projection for you. We'll contact you in about 48 hours to go over what credit limit projections we're anticipating for business credit card funding. Okay, so this allows you firsthand to know how much you can get in credit limits for your business before you even start our funding program. We obviously send you an agreement out, and then we obviously submit the applications for you with the banks. We negotiate with the banks. The cards get sent to your business, and then we're done. It takes about 14 to 20 days to complete our program. So this is the business credit card funding program. This is just a quick example what you can expect. 4 cards. Typically, we get business owners 50 to 70,000 in credit limits if you have strong personal credit. There are exceptions where we go much higher than that, to 150,000 when you have stronger personal credit. But in 4, you can have 4 trade lines, 4 business credit cards reporting on your business credit report in less than 30 days under this program. So imagine having 70,000 in credit limits now reporting on your business credit report. And then let's say you need to obviously add a couple more references, so you can add additional 8 to 10 more references through our business credit building system in less than 30 days. Okay, so be sure to check that out. So what can happen now? Imagine when you're ready to start applying for some no PG cards in a couple months, because you need payment history as well. Remember that. So you'll have strong limits reporting, bank issued credit. So then your no PG cards that you apply for will be much stronger. You'll have maybe higher credit limits. So this is a reverse engineering strategy rather than going the slower route where all you're doing is getting a couple vendors. You have to have much longer history to build up. This is a faster way for you to get large credit limits reporting on your business credit reports. Excuse me. Here's another client. Here's some sample clients of ours. This particular client got 95,500 in business credit cards in less than 25 days. 759 scores. You'll see here's a little breakdown. You can always slow down the video and pause it to see a little breakdown here, but let me go back here real quick. They had a combination of a mortgage, auto, some credit cards, a high credit limit on their primary accounts, or they already had, with a lot of history. They had 12 years account age with Chase on their particular personal credit card. Only 2 inquiries, and the age of the business was a year old. So this is just an example how we have not too old of a business, only a year old, so it's a very high-risk business, only being a year old. But because the banks issued so much credit is because the guarantor, the business owner, had strong personal credit. Okay, so this allows you to kind of leverage the strong credit you build as an individual and leverage that for your business. This enables your business to get high credit limits, and obviously this protects your personal because it doesn't report to your personal. Okay, so here's another client that got almost $142,000 in business and personal credit cards because they wanted to get as much credit as possible over the 14 to 20 day period. So we went after both. They got almost $100,000 in business credit cards in less than 27 days, and additional $44,200 in personal. They already had a $20,000 Bank of America and a $22,000 Chase account on the personal, but we got them additional $44,000 on top of that. Okay, so but you'll see here they had some great scores, great account history, 13 years relationships with the banks. So one thing I want you to realize, what's so important is establishing the relationships with the banks. Some people, potential clients come to us and say, well, why do I need 3 or 4 business credit cards? Don't think of it as having to juggle 3 or 4 business credit cards or even 5 business credit cards for your business. It's all about establishing banking relationships. Each card that you have is a relationship with the bank. When you have that relationship with the bank, guess what happens? That bank will offer you additional funding products. You now have history with the bank. You have relationships. So when you want to acquire for a credit limit increase, you want another credit card from the bank. Or let's say you want to apply for a potential another credit card with no PG, the bank also has that history for the first card that your business has. So remember, diversity is important when it comes to building a very creditworthy business credit profile, but also in your access to funding. You want a combination of access to business credit cards, you want access to fleet cards, you want access to vendor credit, supplier-based credit, alternative lines of credit. That way, when you're doing a specific purchase or you need funding for a specific need, guess what? You have options. You could choose the best financing option for to serve that particular project or that specific purchase. That's why it's important to not restrict yourself to just one funding product or one bank. Okay, so let's talk about corporate credit cards. Like I said, corporate credit cards require no personal guarantee whatsoever. Why is that? Because the businesses are established. They have revenues. These are for existing businesses with 1 million or more in gross annual revenues. Okay? With corporate credit cards, the application process is done on the phone or in person at the bank. And there's only a few card issuers that major ones that offer corporate credit cards. Okay, so when you're applying for a corporate credit card, it's a different experience. It's like applying for a loan because you're providing financials, you're providing business tax returns. They're looking at the business. They're not looking at the individual. They're not looking at you, the business owner, because your business is already established. It has strong revenues. There's no personal guarantee, so there's no recourse. This has 100% corporate liability, which means is when you get issued a corporate credit card, if the business defaults, there's no recourse on you, the owner. 100% of liability is on the company. Okay, so this also reports to only the business credit reporting agencies. But remember, the whole concept of supplying a personal guarantor is risk for the bank. When you're doing 1 million or more in revenue, the bank already knows you're an established business. You have strong revenues, and there's less likelihood that your business is going to default on its credit card. That's why there's no personal guarantee with corporate credit cards. Okay, so who's a corporate credit card for? It's designed for businesses doing 1 million or more in revenues. It's for well-established businesses where you have employees, businesses that want to better monitor and analyze employee spending, and you spend a lot on credit cards. Now, one quick thing. There is a bonus corporate credit card that I want to share with you at the end of this presentation. And if you're a startup, you can get a corporate credit card, even if you're not doing $1 million a year in business. You can get a corporate credit card with no personal guarantee, no personal credit check whatsoever. And even if you're a startup business, it's actually designed for startups. So I'm going to share with you at the end of this presentation. So don't get frustrated if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm only doing, $100,000 a year in revenue or $200,000 a year in revenue. There's no way I can qualify for this cards yet. That's okay. There is one way for you to get a corporate credit card. But also remember, build your business credit as well, so you can also your reports, so you can also eventually qualify for some of the fleet and fuel cards with no PG. Let's talk about corporate credit cards. Who offers them? What are the requirements? First, there's American Express. We all know American Express is not only a payment network, but they're also a bank. Their corporate credit cards have no PG. Their minimum requirement is $4 million in revenue for the business. And they offer a whole bunch of corporate credit cards. 7 corporate credit cards you'll see here. With American Express, they also have an online application. But of course, once you submit the online application, of course, they contact you. They're going to require more documentation, etc. But this just gives you an idea of all the corporate credit cards that are available for American Express. So when you look at some of these major companies out there that are doing millions of dollars, they're getting corporate credit cards. They're not getting business credit cards. They're dealing with corporate credit cards with no PG. Okay, so let's talk about Chase, another bank that issues no PG corporate credit cards. They have quite a few here, but Chase goes more on spending rather than revenue. But if you're actually spending this type of money with Chase, then more than likely you're doing several millions in revenue as well. But you'll see here the corporate flex card. You have to spend, if you're spending less than $250,000 in credit card spending, then this is the ideal card for you. The one card, if you spend $250 to $10 million, then this card's for you. And you'll see they're location based. But when you go to Chase for the corporate credit cards, each of their corporate credit cards are designed for a specific purpose, which is really, really neat. So let me go to the next one. Let's talk about Citi. Citi requires $4 million as well with no PG as well. They have a whole host of credit cards as well. They have corporate cards, central travel cards, one card, meeting card. So these are all corporate credit cards with no PG. And they have even a virtual card. So it's really neat when you see all that's available as you're scaling your business and growing your business. Wells Fargo has one corporate credit card, and Capital One has the One card. Now, the Capital One corporate credit card requires you to spend at least $1 million a year in credit card spending. So, but these are all no PG cards as well. So you can see a pattern here when it comes to corporate credit cards. You have to be doing some good revenue as a business to get the no PG. Okay, so here's your bonus. There's a company now, a company called Brex, where they designed a corporate credit card for startups with no PG and no guarantor. Now, the catch is it's specifically designed for startup companies, tech companies, new companies that may have got an investment from venture capital that has good sums of money in the bank account. But how are they able to do this? It's not secured. It's not a security deposit or anything like this. But what it's based on is, and they report to Experian Business. So this is ideal, but there is a qualification to get this. And the qualification for this particular card, it's you have to have a minimum of $50,000 of funds in your business bank account. Okay, so that's what they look at, is they actually check your business bank account. They look at how much funds is available in your account. That doesn't mean you have to constantly be depositing tons of money, but they underwrite it based on the amount of funds in your business bank account. If you're looking to build business credit and you have a large sums of funds in your business bank account, this is a great card for you. They also have rewards programs too. But what's different is this is a charged card. So this is not a revolving where you can carry a revolving balance. You have to pay your balance in full every single month. So when you charge it, you pay it in full. Okay, so, but this is a corporate credit card that you can get with no personal guarantee, no personal credit check, but you have to have a good sum of funds in your business checking account to qualify for this particular card. It reports to Experian Commercial as well. So this is one card you want to take a look at. Now, how do you apply? You go to the Brex Corporate Credit, you go to their website, Brex, and you link your business bank account information. That's where they do the review. There's no credit check on the personal side. And they look at your cash balance, your spending patterns, and they set your credit limit based on that. And the application process takes a couple minutes. So this is just another card you can add to your repertoire and help you build up your business credit. Now, what I want to encourage you to do is be sure to check out our business credit building system, businesscreditbuilders.org. We have our business credit card funding program. We have our step-by-step business credit building system. So just to do a quick recap on what we talked about, if you're a startup or existing business and you have strong personal credit, you can get some business credit cards, okay? And you're going to be able to supply you have to supply a PG, but they only report to the business credit reporting agencies. That's our business credit card funding program. That'll help you build up your business credit report and give you a fast track so you can eventually qualify for some no PG business credit cards. And there's only a small handful of them available, which we list in our business credit building system. But you have to have that 10-10-10 rule. Remember, I talked about that. And your age of the business plays a role, and also revenues of the business. You got to have healthy revenues as a business. I'm not talking about millions of dollars when it comes to the business credit card, no PGs, but you have to be producing good revenues. It could be $100,000, $200,000 or more in revenues, on top of having a strong business credit report, on top of having some age to your business. Okay, so and also we talked about corporate credit cards. We talked about the bonus corporate credit card here. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, because I'm always putting out videos like this to help you as a startup, business owner, or real estate investor on how to maximize your funding potential, how to build your business credit while protecting your personal credit at the same time. So with that, make it a great day. We'll talk to you real soon.